How's it going? I wanted to record some videos for my latest portfolio projects. Worked on them a while ago, but never got videos up. And just wanted to talk about processes I go through. So first, we'll look at this Power BI analysis I did of 1.9 million wildfires. Just wanted to do some EDA on it, show you how it started. Went to Kaggle, looked up wildfires, found this data set right here. Looks great, right? 1.88 million rows. What could be better? So I remember I downloaded this quite a while ago, probably over a year ago. Just kind of sat in my storage because it was an SQLite file. Didn't really know how to handle this, and I was working on my masters and a bunch of stuff, so it wasn't top priority to turn this into a portfolio project. You can see there's a bunch of columns and tables in this database over here, so I wasn't really sure what I needed or what I was looking for. You see my GitHub, posted this on LinkedIn a while ago. You go my LinkedIn, see my documents, but it shows my Python code on how I extracted the data from the SQLite file. Took pandas, SQLite 3, made a connection, and converted my query into a data frame. This first one, I'm just looking at tables from the database. I found one called Fires that looked promising, so I extracted everything from that, and then, yeah, I did tail instead of head, looked at the last records. They gave me fields here and something I could extract and look at. For my analysis, I dropped the unneeded columns and then turned this thing into a CSV. It's going to be a huge CSV because it's almost 2 million rows of data. But Power BI can handle that. Excel wouldn't be able to read all those columns, but with Power BI, it's no problem. That said, things might run slow if you're running a 3 million row record anything in Power BI. I'm sure I did some data transformations, so let's check it out here. I'll go to the data view, or table view, then transform data. Huh. I must have changed where I put the original CSV, but at the end of the day, it doesn't look like I did much in terms of data cleaning. I just took out some columns and then auto-updated the types. Not going to refresh that because I'll lose the data associated with this, but you can see I have, yeah, object ID, the different types of system reporting, interagency, federal, non-federal. Yeah, the years of the fire, don't know what this is. Yeah, the state the fire was in, Puerto Rico. Interesting. Then we also have a latitude longitude column, which is going to be helpful with making a map later. Fire class, I don't remember to look at my thing here. Okay, so A is the biggest type of fire, G is the smallest type of fire. I actually had to look up the source of this data set from Kaggle. Usually people leave their references. That led me to the table that explained to me what each of the fields mean. So first, because I had latitude and longitude, used the opportunity to make a map. This was for US only. But yeah, you can see I've got the big fires all the way to the small fires. Probably not the best way to visualize this. I might have wanted to put fire size as the size of the bubbles. Then I can change it up by year. So 2015 was the latest, but you can look at fires in 1992. Less of them were recorded in Alaska. And yeah, a couple down here in Puerto Rico. And fire size. Yeah, if you just want all of very small fires, you can click on G. You'll see what's going on there. I do not recall in this visualization what I used for bubble size. Oh, okay, sum of the fire size. So a bigger bubble means there were more fires in that location. Interesting. This is what I used for mapping the fire data. Uh, this is before I really started delving deep into Power BI. This is one of the projects where I was showing off that I knew how to use, filter level visuals and could figure out these subfields over here, but realized I still had a lot of work to go. So also I did some thing with the reporting statistics. Wanted to keep my color scheme the same. I wanted to use a gradient, and this is fires, so I went with red. Here we have the different years and the reporting counts for federal, interagency, and non-federal reporting agencies. Non-federal seems to be reporting the most amount of fires, with interagency being the least, kind of jammed in the middle there. Federal, not doing too much. I imagine it has something to do with if fire's on federal land or not. You're looking at like maybe, say, the Bureau of Land Management trying to put out a forest fire versus like the city of New York. A lot of city districts are going to be able to catch on to fires more quickly. Here I've got some fire stats, fire count by cause. This is in the millions over here. There's some interesting categories here. Arson, no good. Children, I thought that was funny. Power lines, structural fires, etc. This one I went with a sliding slicer. If you want to see a specific year, I guess you could do 2015 to 2015. You'll see, now we're in the thousands. Debris burning is still the #1 cause of fire. So I'm guessing that's controlled burns, and then some wind blows, they get out of hand. Lightning, that's your 3rd highest, so can't stop nature. It's a good lesson. And children over here are the 4th smallest cause of fire, but still 1,300 children caused fires in the US in the year of 2015. So that's interesting. Railroad is another interesting one. Trains go pretty fast, and those wheels are metal on metal. So I can imagine that can cause some sparks. Miscellaneous being the 2nd category, I guess. Just those inexplicables start out as the 2nd most used cause of fire. So I did mention this on LinkedIn when I posted about this a while ago, but one thing I would improve if I was working on this now is I would figure out a way to make these data bars a little wider. They look weird being all skinny like that. I did mess with the theme. I was doing custom visuals. I did a custom theme on this one. Changed all the colors to be more fiery. Reds, purples, blues. I would probably switch around fire size. Maybe numerically encode my numbers here, with A being 7, G being 1. That way you could get a visual of how big the actual fires were. Because this is very confusing, even for me. This was my exploratory analysis of the wildfire data that has been publicly available on Kaggle. And this is how I went through it. Hopefully my Power BI skills get a little better, and I'll have something more easily interpreted on my next upload. Thanks for listening to me.